what's going on here. Draw, laboratory, crew, magpie kinda, diplomat kinda. Underling is also kind of draw. Trashing, church. Just church. Just church. Villages, only diplomat and only if you can activate it. Plus buy, storeroom. The prizes look kind of significant to me here. There's otherwise kind of lacking in villages, and there's good villages in here. There's good payload in here as well. I think the goal is going to be to hit 8 early, get a province, reveal a joust, get some good stuff. And there's stuff here that helps with spiking 8. Mostly church, set aside a bunch, get a big number. Magpie church, first thing that comes to my mind. Nothing else jumping out to me. Another way to spike 8 could be build up the mountain folk and then draw 3 extra cards on a turn. So I could see taking Underling at some point, but that's not super fast or anything. Underling isn't doing anything for you very quickly. Let's just take one more Magpie. Bryan also opens Magpie Church. 7 is a large number, but not large enough. Please find church. Pretty please find church. Pretty please find church. No dice. Just a joust now. I wanted a second church and never got one. I guess the turn I would have most reasonably bought it would have been the turn where I bought the second Magpie. I'll take one here. I think I'll be the first one to prizes, rewards. Which one's which? The rewards now. They used to be called prizes. Now they're called rewards. Joust used to be tournament. Tournament was a much, much nastier card. All right, there we go. Province. All right. Stretch goal, draw province. Consolation prize, at least draw church so I can set aside the joust if I don't draw the province. Well, looks like it might be neither. Yeah, it looks like it's definitely neither. Rip. Okay. Just laboratory here? I think this is just laboratory. Maybe a second joust is better, actually. Increases my chances of lining things up. Alright, so Bryan whiffs 2. He has it populate if he wants it. I'm not sure if populate's good here or not. I lean towards no because there's a lot of terminal stuff, and you're otherwise kind of lacking in villages, but there's good stuff here too. Laboratory's good, joust is good, underling is good. Alright, Bryan's gone for it. Alrighty, set inside the province. Is it worth keeping extra copper in hand to buy an underling? Probably not. That doesn't trigger before the game ends, I don't think. What about a storeroom? Also probably no. Bryan's probably activating next turn. I'm pretty sure he just set aside his province. You got 2 jousts in the deck. I shall beat him to the punch. Decisions, decisions. The gut reaction is Renown, which does seem reasonable here. Click Renown. I could take like 2 more 5 costs here. I mean, like a second joust and a second lab sounds pretty good. Could just be like huge turnip and buy a second province. And then I have some coffers to work with. There's no way Bryan takes both of the plus buy prizes, rewards, next turn. Then I can pick up a plus buy one after that. House Carl, no, I don't have the actions for it. Courser, maybe. If I had something I wanted to draw too, I would take Courser here, maybe. But like, there's nothing valuable in the rest of my deck. Coronet, don't really have any good treasure targets for it. I'm leaning towards Renown. I'll take a second Joust and a second Lab. What does Bryan want? Courser, I think that makes more sense for his deck. His big problem is he's a little over-terminaled with all the populate goodies. Got good stuff, but also got bad stuff that needs to be played. So he probably needs the village more than I do. I have no real conception of whether I'm in the lead here. Tis a silly kingdom. Oh, Bryan's going to get to activate Mountain Folk before the game ends. He took that Underling kind of early, though. Looking at this, I think I'm probably a little behind. Don't think my deck does that much. That being said, at least at the moment, there's not much of a payload at the end of all this. I guess he's got a Charlatan he can play. I feel like if I made a mistake this game, it's probably not taking a second church early enough. I would like to be thinner. And probably the turn I should have done that would have been the turn I took the second Magpie. Maybe church over Magpie was better. Unsure. You set aside 6 cards. Yeah, I think I'm behind here. Alas. At least I found the Joust. This looks like it's got to be... Well, I was going to say it's got to be Coronet, but it could be Domain as well. I need a village. Coronet on Magpie does the trick. Just playing Domain outright also works. Coronet's going to draw me further. Domain gives me more buys, which is potentially relevant with Renown around. Domain's a few points, or 1 to 2 points really. I think I value the Coronet. I would love to find my other church, which is not yet in my hand. Don't play the copper. Whew, very nearly missed it. Okay. If I set aside 3 here, I have 4, 9, 12, which is the most money I could possibly need. I guess I could need more if I wanted to populate. I think I'm just all in on scoring at this point. Probably. Not a bad starting hand. Actually, no, I'm happy with Coronet. I think finding the church, setting aside a bunch, was definitely worth it. I was contemplating whether I should have taken Domain to block Bryan from having +5, but then I realized he has a Storm anyway. But I think the thing his deck most needs is Payload, and a card that's +buy and a gold probably benefits him more than the Coronet does. You can always Coronet the Charlatan. But the Coronet definitely seems better for my deck. I'm not sure whether Domain is better for Bryan's. So he definitely can't do Triple Providence here, just 1 buy. But he could take Domain. I don't think he's getting to 24, though. Double Province does not look safe at all. Single Province also looks potentially dangerous. My deck at least theoretically can do Double Province. But it's also not super reliable. Yeah, I think if you're buying your first pick as Domain, if nothing else, the victory points also kind of make a difference here. Uh-oh. I guess I should have expected that he lined it up, both of them. The house call surprises me. Maybe he was struggling more for draw than I thought he was. I was thinking he was going to take the huge turnip and then hit 24. Still don't love my position. He doesn't have 24. Looks like he doesn't. Probably the safest thing is just a bunch of duchies, right? His deck has more longevity to it, I believe. Take some duchies, avoid winning off a double province, or losing off double province, and then win next turn. Like I think something like 2 duchies, 2 labs, for example, looks really good. 3 duchies and 1 lab. Maybe, I mean, double province, double estate could also be threatening with these 2 curses that you just gave out. Just double province and then like something else would be pretty bad because that loses pretty easily to province duchy. He would go up to 24. I would trash a curse by province duchy and win. 2 provinces. Oh, also the duplicate. Yeah, maybe province double province. No, you can't do double province and a duchy. Double province, double estate has some appeal. My deck is really restricted on how much it can score. I've only got the 1+ buy card. He's going for the duchies. I think all the roads are looking pretty decent for Bryan at this point. Makes sense. Definitely not have wanted to buy a province there. That loses to trashing a curse plus me buying 2 provinces, which is something my deck can at least theoretically do. Okay. There's no particularly low third pile. Not much value in playing the charlatan here. I think I buy the province and hope that Bryan says something of a dud, and then maybe I can hit double province next turn. I get lucky. Do yours, Bryan. I sure hope he doesn't have any more cantrips in hand. He definitely has his crew in hand, right? Because he would have played it last turn. Maybe he didn't. Top decked his crew. He never played his crew, but maybe he set it aside on the church. There's a pretty good chance he has his crew in his hand right now. In which case, if he finds domain, he can play it. Oh, could that be a dud? Please don't get my hopes up. That sure looks like a dud, though. Do I have a chance? Am I still in this, please? Say it ain't so. I think my odds still are not phenomenal, right? If I just do single province here, that's not safe. He's gonna have a good turn next turn with a crew in hand and a domain in hand. So do I just have to shoot for hitting 12 here? 12 on a renown is double province. I'm looking at 2 money, 3 money, 4 money, 5, 6 if I coronet the joust, 7 if I play copper an extra time. I have to draw 5 more money, but my deck doesn't really have a whole lot else in it. I think I probably should not trash this curse, because the chance that the 1 extra coin from the charlatan curse matters seems higher than the chance that the 1 extra point matters at this stage. If I could coronet renown, that sure would make a difference. Unfortunately, coronet says non-reward for precisely this reason. Otherwise, coronet renown would just be like what you always do in every joust game. And I'm pretty sure just doubling the joust is better than doubling the magpie, right? I don't think there's enough good stuff for me to want to draw to later on in my deck. Like these bottom 8 cards don't have anything too significant. If I could get back around to the huge turnip, that would be a big deal. I don't think I can count on that. I could always double the lab. That might be better. Is this 12? I can't tell. It's 11. It's 11. That was close. So close and yet so far. Province Duchy, I think, is the best I got. This means Bryan has to find plus buy. Well, he has plus buy. He has a domain in his hand. So he just has to find 13 money. Not even. 12 money. Domain gives plus 2 buys. 12 is province 2 estates, and that'll do the trick. At this stage, it doesn't really matter whether you set the province aside or not. It used to be with tournament, once the prizes were empty, you could gain duchies, but that's been removed from the Joust version. Please dud again. I'd be so happy if you dud it again. Do I even win if you dud again? I mean, like, this is not at all guaranteed to get me to 8. In fact, it's quite unlikely to. If I draw into the turnip's worth 6, right? Okay, I think my odds of winning are pretty much identical to my odds of drawing my turnip. Please. Please, turnip. Oh, thank God. Oh. I think I was behind there.